Hey there, I'm Ben.
Ridge Wallet Finder review. Okay, hi, last video of the year. Woo! Is it hot garbage? Is it a terrible company? Well, let's just say that I'm seriously thinking about keeping it, and that the review is not quite over yet. Also, this gadget does something which AirTags can't. It's not important, but I mention it in the hopes that this video won't completely tank. Just want to note that recently I've been getting feedback that I talk more about the company than the product sometimes, and that some of you don't like that. What I'm going to say is that every other review channel fawns over the product and never scrutinizes workers' rights or sustainability. And frankly, I see this as a massive gap in our collective vision, and that I'm going to do everything that I can to correct it. On that note, let's talk about the product, shall we? Fit, finish, and physicality. I really love that they've marked the correct charging point on this device. Obviously, it's a very simple device, but the instructions, which I did read this time, are very clear. There was a bug on Apple's end when I tried to repair the card, but rebooting my phone fixed that. Also, can I just say how much I love that they gave it a rechargeable battery? Not to rant, but holy shit, when I was a baby, someone gave me a tile for my keys, and it was really useful. But again, holy shit, these people had the audacity to make a product of high quality materials and then just expect you to throw it away when the battery dies, even though everything in it is completely functional. What kind of Jeff Bezos parasite class slash and burn thinking is that? Anyway, yeah, I like so much that you can just charge it wirelessly. I mean, it would be even cooler if you could charge it off of an iPhone, but this is the future that we should not have had to wait for. Also, I'm quite fond of how thin she is. For reference, she's almost exactly as thick as 2 cards, which, if you have a tiny, tiny wallet, like myself, can be a problem. That said, here's the thing. The only 2 documents that I carry and that I'm terrified of losing are my passport and my driver's license. Yes, I am a homosexual with a driver's license. What of it? Anyway, currently I would be willing to buy 2 of these, one for my passport and one for my driver's license. Because let's be honest, nothing is as valuable as peace of mind. I swear to God this isn't sponsored, because I don't ever do sponsored reviews. Okay, next let's talk about tech support. So it took me less than 5 minutes to find a way to message the company. That said, it is way harder to do so after you've logged into the support portal, which I think was probably an oversight on their part. I also found it very difficult to just ask a general question about the product that wasn't related specifically to returns, exchanges, or warranties. That said, I messaged Ridge on December 8th, which is a Monday, and they said they'd get back to me as soon as possible. 10 days later, they sent me an email saying that their very human team is doing the best that they can, which, I mean, yay, humans, but also, damn, I asked a really simple question. I did also make a formal media inquiry a few days later via the same form, and I've received no responses. If they respond by the time I get to uploading this video, I'll let you know in the comments. Below the like button, wink wink. I'll also update you as to whether or not they honor their return policy. Next, sound quality. What I would say is that it's just loud enough, as in, if I stuck it in a couch, you'll still hear it. That said, I wouldn't be mad if it was a bit louder. It's not quite as loud as an AirTag. I did actually complain about this in my Garmin review, but I would always prefer too loud to not loud enough. As mentioned, I did bury it in my friend's couch cushions, and I could still faintly hear it while I was in the next room. Again, I'd prefer it to be a little louder, but it's loud enough to be serviceable. Someday, I'd really like these things to be loud enough to find it in a nightclub. Next, departure warnings. So after some not terribly rigorous testing, I would say that this works well and as advertised. I did have one weird blip where it told me I left my wallet behind while it was literally in my pocket with me, but honestly, overall it seems to work effectively and as intended. Battery life. So Ridge is claiming up to 5 months of battery life, which of course is going to depend on how many times you push the ringer button, etc, etc. But compared to how my AirTags perform, this feels like a lot. I made sure it's fully charged at the outset, so we'll just have to use it and see. I am kind of skeptical. And again, it would be so cool if I could charge this device wirelessly off of my iPhone, which is technically possible. But again, would Apple do such a nice thing for us? No, because they hate everyone. On that note, I'm a little annoyed to find that the Find My app doesn't tell me the battery percentage, so all I can tell you after almost a month of use for this device is that the battery still registers as full. I'm also going to point out that my AirTags don't have any battery readout whatsoever, even the newer one. Maybe another reason to go third party instead of dealing with Apple's bullshit? Software. As mentioned, there was a bug in the Find My app which told me to upgrade my account security or something, but again, rebooting my phone fixed it. Otherwise, I'm willing to tolerate the quality of Apple's Find My technology and software. I would say that currently this device integrates exactly like an AirTag, which to be honest is fucking amazing. It's also well worth noting that this integration is quite seamless, and that if Apple weren't so completely shit, they could and would integrate other third-party devices and software in a similar nature. If it's possible here, it's possible elsewhere. Get with it, Apple. Honestly, were it not for the fact that Apple knows they need a massive Find My network to make it better, they would not be being this altruistic. Ultimately, though, it's kind of surprising to see Apple finally putting one of their products before their profit margins. Speaking of which, let's talk about ethics and environment. This part is important. If you complain about it, I'll make it bigger. I'm happy to say that at the very least, Ridge acknowledges a need for sustainability on their website. I'm also happy to note that despite the USA's continued descent into insanity, immorality, and downright evil, Ridge has maintained DEI as a tenet of their corporate and social responsibility. Good job, Ridge. You're doing the bare minimum, and it looks great on you. I'll link to that document below the like button. I also love that they claim to maintain a fully remote workforce in an effort to reduce pointless carbon and intensive commuting. They've disclosed that their products are made in China and that they are a member of the Fair Labor Association, which turned out not to be true. I reached out to Ridge and the FLA for comment, and the FLA stated that they aren't actually a member. And I quote, "Ridge Wallets is not an FLA member, but a collegiate license affiliate participating in our knowledge building program." And I would just like to say that after some research, I can translate this to mean that this is a really important distinction because a member would be audited by the FLA. There would actually be some third-party accountability. A collegiate license affiliate, on the other hand, has none of this. It's a lot like me promising real hard not to eat all the ice cream and then never letting anyone look in the fridge. I did try to ask their PR team directly about this, but the email address they listed on their website is fucking broken. I tried using the .ca name with that same address, and that also bounced back. Whoops, I guess. For added context, I'll link to what the FLA says about collegiate members on their website. You guessed it, that's below the subscribe button. All in all, I love that they seem to be making an attempt to ensure proper labor rights and transparency, but at this point, it's the equivalent of my buying a wallet tracking card and never turning it on. I can honestly say that Ridge is saying a lot of the right things, but with the misleading language in their corporate responsibility statement, as well as their broken PR email address, and of course the complete and total lack of external audits, we really have no idea if they're actually doing the thing or if they're just saying that they are. Next, let's talk about privacy. So I would love to start discussing how the companies I review handle privacy. Further, I would love to do an entire section on Find My integrated objects and the privacy with Ridge as well as Apple. Frankly, however, I do not have the time or the money to do that. So you could help me out by joining my Patreon or subscribing to my Substack. Yes, I know it's ironic that I'm asking for personal data so that I can afford to do a section on privacy. Please note that I will never sell access to your data to anyone without your explicit and informed consent. If you want to help me make this channel a voice for privacy and personal ownership and a right to repair on the internet, please push all the buttons. That's what we being me and my cat, are really trying to do here. Next, what could have been? Before we do the summary, I need to rant a little bit. And if that annoys you, there are timestamps for a reason. When I look at the design of this card, I'm stricken. Struck? Stroked? I'm striked by how it looks so much like it could be a part of an Apple Wallet. What also strikes me is that Apple went so far as to integrate the physical Apple Wallet into the Find My network, but not build an Apple Wallet that actually makes noise. And don't get me wrong, as integrations go, it's obvious to do this integration in the absence of a better product. But let's not forget that Apple is a $1 trillion company with infinite money to burn and a need for more product. In that light, this feels like the dumbest decision in the world. This card demonstrates that it's entirely possible to build a low-profile Apple Wallet which can make a loud enough noise and which has all of the other Find My capabilities. Further, by charging wirelessly, this device could even charge while attached to the iPhone. But again, I doubt Apple would ever allow any third-party product to have such splendid integration. It could be that this product is still in development, but frankly, if Ridge can get the product out to the public in such short order, I'm left wondering why can't a bigger, more well-funded Apple pull it off in any way? Summary. As is often the case, the product is actually pretty solid. In fact, I am tempted to keep it. That said, the West is perpetually satisfied with a decent product while ignoring whether or not it's made decently. Whether or not we have to squeegee the blood off the packaging when we open it. We don't really have any solid evidence that Ridge treats their factory workers or affiliates well. We also don't have any evidence that they're good to work for, kind of a Schrodinger's whip cracker, if you will. And I will bang on this drum until the sun burns out. Our lack of empathy for the people, the families, sometimes even the children forced into making the tech we take for granted is sickening. And while I'm talking ideology, I'd just like to point out that more than 10 companies have recently tried to buy reviews from my channel. I have turned down thousands of dollars in advertising and affiliate money because I want to be honest with you about the products that I review. If you would like to support the channel, please consider subscribing both here and to my Substack because my reviews are pretty anti-consumerist rhetoric, and there's a very real world in which the algorithm punishes me for that. Subscribing to my Substack means you get notified every time I upload. which to be honest is like 12 times a year at this point. So as ever, thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. I'm Ben, this is BRBTG, and as always, I will be right back.